You won't believe what I just read on the internet. I cannot believe it, guys, that this is actually happening, you know. About a year ago, I made a video about Pentax, and in that news that had come out, they were saying that they were going to start developing film cameras again, and they were talking about a couple or so film cameras. If you're interested, check out the video. It will be right here, added to your playlist. But I actually cannot believe that that is actually happening, because according to what I just read from Digital Camera World, Pentax, they actually follow through with what they said they were going to do. That is amazing. Who knew? A company that actually keeps their word, you know. In this day and age, that's few and far between, you know. But this is amazing. Let's go and check out this news. So I'm going to read the news to you guys, and I will also display it on the screen so you can check it out. And the link to this article will be in the description of this video. So it says that Pentax's new film camera prototype is now complete. That is incredible. The prototype is complete. Wow. This is exciting, guys. And it says after a year of development. So over a year, they said the engineers have been working on the film camera project with hopes to see the release of a brand new film camera with modern mechanisms to the mass market. Emphasis on modern mechanisms. Let's talk about it. What sort of modern mechanisms could there be? I'm just racking my brain trying to understand what could be a modern feature on a film camera. You know what I think? I think it may be a dual film camera and digital camera. It may have a sensor in there. I'm just guessing that it may allow you to be able to not just shoot film but also shoot digital. That will sort of defeat the purpose, right? But then again, it would make that film camera very attractive, right? Because you could use one camera to shoot both film and digital. What other features, modern features, could there be? Film cameras back in the day did have like digital counters and things like that, so that won't even be modern. That's what I was thinking. Anyways, let's read some more. So it says that engineers have poured their hearts into its development and have completed the final stage of the prototype. This is exciting. Final stage of the prototype. The prototype's camera was showcased at an exclusive unveiling party, where actor and model Rico, I'll put his picture right here, a passionate film camera user, joined Rico executives. And for those of you that don't know, Pentax is owned by Rico now. They joined the company executives Makoto Likawa and Takio Suzuki. Interesting. To discuss the allure of film cameras. You know, we got to a stage where, you know, I was very enthusiastic about film. Well, not always, but I have been enthusiastic about film cameras since the onset of this channel. But we got to a stage where I started to have some doubts about the long-term viability and sustainability of this whole revival, film revival thing that I was so gung-ho about in the beginning, because I realized that the manufacturers, instead of picking on to the revival and actually making something out of it, that they were actually discontinuing the very last remaining film cameras that were out there. We saw the debacle of Yashica. We saw Nikon discontinue its last film camera that it was manufacturing way into I think 2020. I'm not sure, I could be wrong on that, you know. And we didn't see anyone else pick up the slack except for maybe Polaroid did a really massive job with rebranding itself and coming out of the shadows with the Impossible project, which then got really, I think it got bought out and rebranded back into Polaroid. And now Polaroid, I think, is doing really well. They're making, I think they're making bank. They're making new cameras, new film types. Amazing. But so I at some point I felt like, okay, if manufacturers are not taking on to this revival, film revival that we all advocated for, and as a matter of fact, if film prices were also skyrocketed, I felt like there was no hope for film. You know, I felt like really this was a resurgence that would just become a dud. So for the last year or so, I have been a bit hesitant. I've curbed my enthusiasm for film in that sense because of that. Especially with the film prices, I just felt like, oh my gosh, this is not happening, is it? But if this is actually happening, you know what this does is it creates an excuse for other manufacturers who are sitting on the fence, you know. If they see that Ricoh is making bank with this new film camera, they're gonna jump in. This is why it's important that we support Ricoh for all of us. Our mutual interest is that the other manufacturers will jump in, and if they do jump in, it will make film cameras newer film cameras a more common thing, just like vinyl is now. You'll be surprised, the vinyl resurgence is a thing, and they've gotten to a place where manufacturers jumped in. They're making new record players. I actually went to the store, was it yesterday? And I saw new models of record players, and they did not look like the cheap ones that they started off from China, you know, back in the day when this whole vinyl resurgence thing was happening. All you could see was just like these cheap knockoff brands trying to capitalize on the resurgence. But now you actually have quality record players. I was shocked at the quality of the record players, and they were going for in excess of $400, and I was like, whoa, has it gotten that good for you guys? No, I'm not a big vinyl person. I have my moments, but I could certainly relate, you know. And so when this news comes and hits me like this, I am all excited about it because I know what something like this could mean for film and for film resurgence. Let's read a little bit more. This is what Likawa says, okay? He shared some insights. We have been working on this project for about a year, and as a matter of fact, today we brought a prototype that is currently in the review stage. We would love to hear your honest feedback on it. Interested. How I wish to be a fly on the wall in some of these meetings, you know, and demonstrations. Oh, there's a hint here. Ricoh, intrigued by the prototype, explored its features and was particularly fascinated by the manual winding lever, a nostalgic touch that winds up each piece by hand. That is a clue right there. You know why that's a clue? That means that this camera has modern features, but this person is saying they were pleased to see at least that nostalgic touch. It's not like it was brimming or dripping in nostalgia, but it was a touch of it. So my sense is that there's a lot of modern features, but there was that manual winding. At least that part is gonna be, the film advance is gonna be manual, not automatic. Wow. Now I'm really curious to find out what kind of modern features this camera could have. You know what? Why don't we all do a little brainstorming exercise here in the comments of this video? What do you think the modern features on this camera could be? Put a comment down on this video. Let's see. So here are some of the challenges that they faced. Apparently they included referring to old blueprints and assembling the camera from scratch. Ooh, that's another clue. They referenced old blueprints, but they assembled the camera from scratch. Interesting. So there's a likelihood that it could resemble an older camera in the Pentax lineup, you know? I have a feeling it could be like the K1000. It could be the Spotmatic design. Those are classic Pentax designs, in my opinion. The team aimed to create a blend of old and new, offering users experience of using a classic tool while incorporating modern elements, just like I said. Oh, there's another clue here. We wanted people to carry it around like a smartphone. That's odd. Ricoh, known for carrying a film camera to every film location, emphasized the need for convenience and aesthetic appeal in camera design. Oh, how do you carry a film camera around like a smartphone? It has to be portable, so it's not going to be one of the really heavy stuff. But then again, it could be, because it has a winding mechanism on it, so it's not going to be a point and shoot camera, at least I don't think, because point and shoot cameras often don't come with a manual advance. So now I'm really confused. Alright, I'm really confused. So let's gather in the comment section, guys, and let's have a conversation. But I am so excited about this. I am pleased that Pentax actually carried through with their it wasn't really a promise, but with their announcement. I'm pleased that they are actually doing this. This is awesome.